a Nepo kid.
Yeah, I think I may be a Nepo baby, but that's okay. I always assume everything's gonna go right, which really helps to limit my anxiety.
If you are just trying to figure out life, try a few things and then something will definitely click. Behind every successful woman, there is not always a man, sometimes there is a woman. I'm saying it because we are talking about women empowerment, women supporting women today. We have with us Editor-in-Chief of Times of Canada, Geetanjali with us. Thank you, Geetanjali, for being on Stranger Story.
Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for listening.
So Geetanjali, we're going to talk about not just Times of Canada, but you as a person, your journey and how it all started, and what is your vision behind your life goals. So let's begin with your childhood. Where were you born, and what was your childhood like?
About my childhood, I was born here. I'm a Burnaby baby. So grew up in Delta. I'm still in Delta, been in Delta my whole life. And I would say my childhood was super fun. Busy is a word that I would use. My mom had me in any sport that I could be in. And I think that bred how competitive I am now. Swimming, skating, gymnastics, bhangra. I did classical Indian dancing as well.
I see.
Sundays I would have Hindi school, and then I would go to my harmonium classes, and then I would do all of that. So my mom kept us super, super busy growing up, which I appreciate because I think I got to grow and learn what I really like at a young age. And there was never the answer of, oh, you have to do this. I did everything until I wanted to do it. So I chose to continue with swimming or continue with skating. And I think it really taught me at a young age that I can make my own choices.
Amazing.
Which I think is really important for all our women out there especially.
Exactly, and you did get the chance to explore things out there. So hats off to your mother. And also, if I can ask, what were your favorite hobbies of that time that you're still carrying forward?
Definitely. I had such a passion for the stage and theater, and I think that definitely carried over into media. I used to be in any elementary school drama, any high school drama I could be in, and dancing as well. I think now if I'm bored or if I have a wedding coming up, I'm the first one to say, let me choreograph the dance.
Oh really? I didn't know that part of you.
Surprise little venture.
Yeah, because you're always so busy with event preparations, and there are of course people dancing out there, but I've never seen you dancing.
Me.
Okay.
That'll come later. It's a secret just for fellas.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's talk about how did you decide to study what so maybe you can share first what have you studied so they get a better understanding about your education.
So I got a BBA in marketing and MIS. I never thought that media was what I was going to end up in, but I went to SFU, and honestly I had the most amazing experiences there as well. I think I learned a lot about community, trusting your own decisions, leadership, and I guess for all the women out there, I definitely think it's so important again to explore. I was in as many clubs as I could be in and doing as much as I could. I think it teaches you a lot about yourself by experiencing things.
So then how was this shift because you studied something of course it's related to somehow media when you say marketing, but then how did you decide that you're gonna be a Nepo kid?
Yeah, be a Nepo baby. I am, unfortunately, it might be the truth out there. I think I may be a Nepo baby, but that's okay. We'll go forward with a bigger and hopefully better message and try to make it all a little bit more grand. But I think for me what happened was, I don't know if a lot of people know the story. I never really thought I was going to end up here. I was passionate about the stage, but growing up I was a little bit rebellious. You never really want to do what your parents want you to do.
Exactly.
So I was at the bank, I worked retail before that, your first couple of jobs, and I really thought that I was going to stay at the bank. I had someone from this office actually going on vacation. And my dad said, hey Anjali, you're almost done your studies. This is the time. I want you to come try it now because you might not get the chance to try it later.
So again, exploration.
Exploration. Okay. I think it's been a key part in my life is trying things out. And honestly, once I was in, I met amazing people. People like Falak had just a different experience and really enjoyed the life that is media and being a community member. And I've been here ever since.
So see, that's such a lesson for us to understand that if you are just trying to figure out life, what are your goals, maybe try a few things and then something will definitely click. Right?
And it might not be the first thing. I thought I was going to do one thing, I thought I was going to do another thing, and then this is what clicked and it feels right. I think when you find what's for you, you'll really feel it more than anything else.
And then because this, media industry, only people who work behind the cameras, like he is doing it right now.
Give it away. A little shout out to our videographer.
Yeah, exactly. Only these people know how difficult this job is. It's not all fancy and
No.
page 3 things. No, there's a lot of hard work. So anything you want to talk about behind the cameras and maybe share it with the audience.
Try your best and take your chances. It isn't all community events. It isn't just photo shoots. It isn't just prepping or maybe looking through a magazine and seeing what you want and what you don't want. A lot of it is building connections. Your network is so important. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of follow-ups. It's a lot of keeping track and making sure that you're organized. But I think at the end of the day, if your heart's in it, it's something you can completely do, and it's something that connects you to so much more of your community than you think it is in the beginning, which I think is a blessing in disguise.
Thank you so much for the wonderful message.
Thank you.
It's definitely gonna help somebody, but I will take you ahead. I have a lot of questions.
No, that's okay. I'm excited. I love talking, so I will be here as long as you need me.
I'm glad. But we definitely need to touch upon mental health. And I know the Times of Canada, even your father, Mr. Vinay Sharma, he has been supporting mental health. They're supporting Dil Diyan Gallan, one of the community service organization we have here in Surrey. So how do you take care of your mental health as well as physical health, if you want to talk about that, with this industry, with your job and with everything personal as well?
Yeah. I think one thing that really works for me, I'm very overly positive, and I think I've had that from a very young age. The optimism, I always assume everything's gonna go right, which really helps to limit my anxiety or what the outcome's really gonna be, because if I manifest and I really, really believe that everything's gonna go the way it should, or even if it doesn't, I can fix this. I have the mindset of, okay, maybe not this, but what's next? So I think really believing in yourself and believing in the people around you is something that works for me. What else?
And who do you want to give credit to for such thought process? Or is it just innate?
I would give it to both my parents, especially I was talking about my mom had me in everything super young, and it was, okay, you didn't pass this time, but what can we do to make sure you pass the swimming lesson next time? Or you didn't get the grade you wanted, so what can we do to make sure it happens next time?
Okay.
And I think both my parents from a very young age instilled a lot of belief in me.
Yeah.
Which is, knock on wood, really how I want to raise my kids. I want to make them feel like they can do anything. And when you have that kind of support system, it makes it
matters.
Yeah, it really makes it easy to try to do better or feel like you can do better.
Yeah, I mean, you have a very strong support system, but not, I would say, not everybody has that luxury.
No,
because it's a luxury, right?
It's such a privilege, and I acknowledge that so much. I think throughout my life, I've been very lucky. Friends, family, even people I meet like you, like I feel like a lot of people have seen me and had faith in me, and that really drives me to do so much more for the community.
And how many years, if you want to share with them, you have been working with? I know it, but I think audience should also know, because they can't really imagine. They can't judge it. How many years it has been, you have been working with Times, like as a full-time editor-in-chief?
Honestly, again, as Palak knows, with the Nepo baby a little bit there, I've been in and out of this office since I was 16, but I have not been here officially more than a year. It's been just about a year.
I've seen you quite active from past 1 year, and you have completely switched the way we used to see Times of Canada. You know, there has been a huge upgrade, I would say. There is nothing wrong that was happening in the past, but yeah, you have definitely added multiple flavors to it. Trust me, you being the women in all this competition is making you stand out. So women, we do have the power to change the world, not just for saying it. I mean, there are women who are proving it every day. So any message for the women?
I definitely think like women out there, regardless of, I know I have the privilege of having the support system that I have, but regardless of that, we all have you. I think as women, once someone puts a foot in the door, there's so much more support out there than you know. I didn't realize stepping into this role that I was going to meet so many amazing women that would not only uplift me, but bring me opportunities, help me out, guide me. And that's what I'm there to do for anybody else as well. If you're a younger woman and you don't know if media is your role, or not even media, if politics or anything, we can help you connect to them.
Yeah,
and I think you should explore and find out what you feel like ignites your passion.
And on that, I would also like to share, even though this is going to be a forever video, people can watch it 10 years down the line as well. But I still would like to mention here that Times of Canada is coming up with the first ever Women Empowerment Gala, and maybe you can share more about it.
No, I'd love to. As we were talking about just passions, and the word ignite just came up, and that's where the vision all started from. On February 28th at Reflections Banquet Hall, we're hosting our first ever Ignite, a Women's Empowerment Gala. So the goal of the night is, through panel discussion, our meet and greet, even our performances, entertainment, and awards, to recognize all the women out there that are not only doing amazing things, but are also uplifting the community. We want to create role models for younger girls to look up to. And I think the mainstream media, sometimes we don't do the best job of uplifting our women. And this is Times of Canada and my goal, to push forward to bring more and more women together.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. And before we leave, of course, you would have a few questions for Gitanjali, or you can call her Anjali. So feel free to comment below. And with all the questions coming in, we might come to the head office, Times of Canada's head office, for the second time, and we can ask all the questions that you have. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. And I did learn a few things about you today. And
surprise.
Thank you for having us here.
Of course. Thank you so much, Polly. Thanks, guys.